Archaeologists in China have recently opened the largest tomb ever discovered in the nation, dating back 2,500 years. But what they found inside is not what they expected at all. Keep watching to find out why. And please like and subscribe for more updates. Thanks everyone. The discovery of the tomb was made in April of this year, but it took archaeologists several months to prepare before they could finally begin excavations. The tomb was discovered in the Shandong province, which is home to many historical relics from China's ancient past. However, this particular tomb is by far the largest one found to date. Archaeologists from the Shandong University Museum and the Provincial Institute of Archaeology teamed up to research the site. According to reports, the team used advanced scanning technologies to peek inside the massive tomb, without actually having to dig through the burial mound just yet. This allowed them to get an idea of what kind of treasures might lie beneath the surface. Inside the tomb, they found a large central chamber that contained numerous coffins. There were also several smaller rooms, branching off of the main chamber with their own separate entrances. Archaeologists had reason to believe that the smaller chambers may have been used to store sacrificial items, prior to being placed inside the central chamber during the burial ceremony. Based on their findings, the team estimated that the entire tomb complex was approximately 8,000 square meters in size, about two-thirds the size of an American football field. It was built during the spring and autumn period between 770 and 446 BC, and is believed to be the final resting place of several members of the Ji family, who ruled over the state of Lu during that time. According to historical records, the first ruler of the state of Lu was called Ji Chang, who later became known as King Zhou of Shang. He is credited with helping to overthrow the last ruler of the Shang dynasty and establish the Western Zhou dynasty in its place. After his death, his son Jifa succeeded him as ruler of the state of Lu. He would later become famous for having written the famous book of poetry known as the Shiji, or the Classic of Poetry. While there is some debate as to whether or not the tomb actually belonged to the rulers of the state of Lu, archaeologists are confident that it did. If not, then the tomb must have belonged to an even more important and wealthy family from that time period. Before beginning excavations, researchers decided to use ground-penetrating radar to map out the interior of the tomb. Using this technology, they were able to identify a total of 7 chambers within the tomb. The central chamber was nearly square in shape and measured 27 meters on each side. From this room, 6 corridors extended outward, 3 on each side. At the end of each corridor was another chamber that measured approximately 18 meters by 14 meters. These smaller chambers were most likely used for storing items to be buried with the main occupant of the tomb. Using other non-invasive technologies such as magnetic and electrical resistivity, scientists were able to get an even clearer picture of what was inside. These methods allowed them to determine that the central chamber contained multiple layers, including a burial platform made of wood and several human-shaped voids. Some of these voids were empty, while others had either stone or wooden coffins inside. With all of this data, researchers knew exactly where to start digging. They began by removing dirt and rock from the surface of the burial mound, until they reached the top of the tomb. Once inside, they found that much of the interior had already been looted, likely hundreds of years ago. As a result, they knew that any valuables such as gold, silver, and precious jewels had already been taken away. Still, there was plenty left for the team to be excited about. As they explored further into the smaller chambers, they found dozens of clay pots filled with ancient artifacts. Many of the items were ritual objects such as bronze vessels and ceramic. These items were likely placed inside the tomb as offerings to be used by the deceased in the afterlife. Archaeologists also found several complete sets of ancient armor and weapons, indicating that the deceased was likely a warrior of high rank. In addition to the weapons and ritual objects, archaeologists also discovered several hundred pieces of paperwork made from bamboo and silk. Researchers believe that these documents may contain valuable information about life during the spring and autumn period. Unfortunately, due to the poor condition of the papers, it may take some time before they can be deciphered. Perhaps the most exciting discovery came when the team ventured into the central chamber. Here they found a total of 9 coffins, 5 of which were made of wood, and 4 were made of stone. One of the stone coffins was significantly larger than the others, suggesting that it was meant to hold the body of a high-ranking individual. At first glance, it seemed as though all of the coffins had already been looted. However, upon closer inspection, archaeologists noticed that one of the wooden coffins still had its lid intact. Because of this, the team decided to focus their efforts here. After all, if there was anything valuable left to be found in the tomb, it would likely be in this coffin. Carefully removing the lid, archaeologists peered inside and were shocked to find a well-preserved human skeleton sitting upright. The skeleton was adorned with expensive garments and jewelry, indicating that the person buried here was of noble birth. In addition to the skeleton, archaeologists also found several artifacts near the head, including a jade crown and a set of bronze mirrors. After examining the skeleton, archaeologists grew even more excited when they realized that it was only one of many. In fact, the team soon discovered a total of 8 skeletons buried inside the tomb. Each was adorned with expensive clothing and jewelry, indicating that they were all of noble birth. So far, archaeologists have not been able to confirm the identity of any of the skeletons. However, they believe that the person buried in the stone coffin was most likely a member of the Ji family who ruled over the state of Lu during the spring and autumn period. One of the most interesting aspects of the discovery is the layout of the tomb itself. Typically, tombs from this time period were designed to be as symmetrical as possible. However, the tomb at Shandong province is asymmetrical, with some chambers being significantly larger than others. This suggests that the deceased occupants were not all of equal status, which makes sense considering that one of them was likely a high-ranking member of the royal family. Another interesting aspect of the tomb is the presence of so many weapons. While it is not uncommon to find weapons buried with important figures from this time period, archaeologists were surprised by the number and variety of weapons found in this tomb. This suggests that the person buried here was either a warrior or a member of the royal family who required protection in the afterlife. Archaeologists are still working to excavate the tomb and make sense of all of their findings. However, they have already learned a great deal about life during the spring and autumn period. The tomb is expected to remain open to the public for several years as researchers continue to explore and learn from this amazing discovery. What do you think about the discovery of this huge tomb? Do you think it belonged to a member of the royal family? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and please like and subscribe for more updates. Thanks everyone. See you next time. And now over to you. What do you think about the discovery of this huge tomb? Do you think it belonged to a member of the royal family? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and please like and subscribe for more updates. Thanks everyone. See you next time.